career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all, in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country. Yeah.
Joe Rogan has joined the growing backlash against Donald Trump, criticizing his remarks about Rob Reiner following the filmmaker's tragic passing. On a recent episode of his podcast featuring comedian Shane Gillis, Rogan reacted sharply to Trump's repeated attacks on Reiner after the director's death, comments that ignited outrage across Hollywood. The remarks came as investigators moved forward in a case that has already stunned the industry. Reiner's son, Nick Reiner, has been arrested in connection with the deaths of both his parents. Rogan did not mince words. Speaking on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, he said, "The Rob Reiner thing is not funny. When you see it with no empathy, that's when it's hard to like. Listen, there's no justification for what he did that makes any sense in a compassionate society." Rogan compared the reaction to what he described as people celebrating violence elsewhere, adding, "It's no different than people that were celebrating when Charlie Kirk got shot. It's the same kind of thing." He then drew a pointed comparison. "Imagine if Obama tweeted something about someone after they died in this way," Rogan said, "that this person was a deranged person that hated Obama. It just shows you how crazy it is, the way Trump thinks and talks." Rogan continued, speaking directly to the brutality of the case. "It's just like the guy got sliced up by his kid, you know? Anybody that doesn't see that and go, F, man." According to Rogan, the comments should never have been posted publicly. He said someone should have taken Trump's effing phone away before he weighed in, adding that he was so disappointed by the remarks. "It's so disappointing. It's like, why? If you say that privately, that's one thing, which is also crazy, but it's so disappointing." Trump initially made his remarks about Reiner in a Truth Social post, claiming the director's death was due to the anger he caused others for being outspokenly anti-Trump. Hours later, when asked at a press conference about Republicans condemning his statement, Trump doubled down.
Please.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all, in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country. Yeah.
The comments triggered swift backlash. Hollywood figures widely condemned the president's remarks, with Jimmy Kimmel calling them hateful and vile for targeting Reiner in the aftermath of a family tragedy. Sean Astin, president of SAG-AFTRA, also reacted publicly following the deaths of Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle.
Certain things happen, 9/11, the Space Shuttle Challenger, the death of Kennedy, the assassination. Certain things all of a sudden make the world feel tighter together. And I think Rob Reiner's passing did that in this community. It woke people up. It reminded them of our fragility and reminded them of our relationship to something that is unique. His movies, genre-defining movies, lots of genres, lots of defining. He brought us together. I don't think that's overstatement. I think so. We mourn as a community.
The case itself remains deeply disturbing. Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were discovered dead inside their Brentwood, California home on December 14th. Within hours, their 32-year-old son, Nick Reiner, was arrested. Prosecutors allege Nick killed both of his parents. Nick Reiner has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, including a special circumstance allegation. He is currently being held at the Twin Towers Correctional Facility in Los Angeles.
Your Honor, if you could, I would like to ask for a continuance of the arraignment. I don't think at this juncture it's too early. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just have a couple of quick words. First of all, and most importantly, this is a devastating tragedy that has befallen the Reiner family. We all recognize that. Our hearts go out to the entire Reiner family. There are very, very complex and serious issues that are associated with this case. These need to be thoroughly but very carefully dealt with and examined and looked at and analyzed. We ask that during this process you allow the system to move forward in the way that it was designed to move forward, not with a rush to judgment, not with jumping to conclusions, but with restraint and with dignity and with the respect that this system and this process deserves and that the family deserves. So with that, we are set for January 7th for an arraignment. That's the next court date, and that's all I have to say at this point. There may be more at some other point, but today we're going to rest on where we stand procedurally, which is this was a continuance of arraignment. Nothing happened today substantively. We'll be back for an arraignment in the same department on the 7th of January. We'll see you then.